Sir, thank you very much, sir. Sir, even after the very detailed and the structured reply by the Honorable Minister, still the sole question remains unanswered. That is, what is the purpose or what is the urgency in promulgating the ordinance? That is the main question which has to be answered, still remains unanswered. Sir, I do agree. No, I will show you. Yes, I do agree. Sir, I do agree with the fact that the Insolvency Law Committee, which is consisting of 14 members, they have submitted a report on 26 March 2018. So many recommendations have been given, almost all the recommendations have been accepted by the government. And immediately after accepting all those recommendations, now they have issued an ordinance of Insolvency and Bankruptcy Code ordinance on 6th June 2018. A very pertinent question has been raised by Honorable Mehtab ji, that what has happened during the gap between 26 March 2018, or what has happened during the gap between 6th day of June 2018 and 18th of this month, that is the date of commencing of Parliament's monsoon session. What has happened? Can the government explain and convince the House these are the benefits which have occurred due to the promulgation of the ordinance? Then we can very well see that the promulgation of ordinance was an urgent necessity. It was on inevitable circumstances that compelled the government to issue the ordinance. There we have cited the examples. If the government is not able to satisfy and convince this August House regarding the promulgation of the ordinance, definitely the allegations which you have raised regarding the bona fides of the government in promulgating the ordinance is just to help some industrial groups, especially regarding the resolution process which were pending and which has happened after 6th June 2018. That is a very pertinent question, the specific allegation which were raised, almost all the members have raised in this House. So such a necessity was not shown in any of the other cases. That is the number one issue. And the second point which I would like to answer regarding the Honorable Minister has referred to my speech during the time of consideration and passing of this bill. That is, Honorable Finance Minister Sri Arun Jaitley ji has replied to that debate also. Yes, sir, I raised the point that the minority dominates over the majority interest. That was regarding entirely in a different provision. I would like to clarify that. Sir, even I remember my speech and I have taken the record from the Parliament Library also. Sir, it is a speech. Even a minor default will lead the company being placed into the hands of insolvency experts, and the company will be dissolved unless 75% of the creditors agreed to continue the operation of the company. Unless 75% of the creditors have to agree that the company should be going to the operation. That means they should be against the insolvency proceedings. Here, my suggestion during that time was, that means 26% of the creditors, even unsecured creditors, even 26% of the creditors can move for insolvency resolution and thereby go for the liquidation proceedings. It is very, very specific. Kindly see, 26% of the unsecured creditors can dominate the interest of the secured creditors of 74%. There I have sought the amendment at the time of passing. At the time of passing and consideration of the bill, here I have moved the amendment that even 26% of the unsecured creditors can dominate the interest of the 74% of the secured creditors. So the secured creditors are in back and the unsecured creditors are in beneficial position. That was the point which I have made at the time of passing and consideration passing of the bill. But here there is no amendment. At the time also I have moved that amendment. Unfortunately, there is no amendment is coming. The amendment is coming in case of resolution process which have to be approved by 75% of the financial creditors. So 75% of the financial creditors have come to 66%. What is the significance of the 66%? Even 51% we can accept, we can understand. So this 66%, pardon? America has it. Now we are all following the economic philosophy of America, but the social conditions and the financial conditions of India is entirely different from that of the US economy and the conditions which are being prevailing there. So the point is, the 66%, I have also moved some amendments regarding this issue. See, the very point I'm concluding with the pertinent point that when you are coming to the 66% and subsequent actions, you may please see subsequent actions. After 6th June, this industrial resolution process have been approved. That is the point which we are highlighting. How many issues, how many records, even law commission reports are here. How many reports of the very eminent person, very eminent committees are there? Why the government is not coming forward with an ordinance so as to have all the initiate the proceeding at the earliest? So thereby we are challenging the credibility of the government, the bona fides of the government regarding the promulgation of the ordinance. That is why, since the government is not able to convince the August House regarding the specific allegation made that this is just to help some industrial houses, we once again I would like to say that we are opposing the ordinance, and I'm pressing for the ordinance. With these words I conclude. Thank you very much, sir.
Sir.